Good morning, dear students. Today's session we will start social science history. The first chapter of this book is the rise of nationalism in Europe. First, we should discuss the meaning of this chapter. Rise of nationalism. Rise means slow and steady growth. Nationalism, it is a sense of allegiance, it is a sense of common identity of a person to his nation, to his country. I have already supplied you important terms regarding this lesson. So we are to learn how did nationalism rise in Europe. Before we discuss, we should learn that what is nation, what is nation state, what is modern state. Before 15th century in Europe, there was not existence of any nation state. There were multinational dynastic empire. One dynasty used to rule a number of territories, a number of states. So there was not existence of a nation state. Two factors gave a great contribution in the rise of nation state in Europe. Those were decline in feudalism and decline in the power of church. These two were important factors that contributed in the rise of nation states and nationalism in Europe. You would like to know what is feudalism, although I think you have already studied in previous classes like 7, 8 or 9. But once again, I would like to give the definition of feudalism. Feudalism was a system. Feudalism was a political and social system based on ownership of land. Ownership of land. What was this? A handful of persons owned large tract of areas, and over those areas these people ruled. They had big powers, they exercised judicial revenue related subjects, and common people were totally dependent on these landlords. Second, decline in the power of church. Church was also a strong institution in Europe during 15th to 17th century. And when there were crusades means dharmik yudh. This was the religious war that was fought by Christians on one hand and the Muslims on another hand. And what was the purpose? What was the reason behind this war? To capture the holy lands. The Christians of the West, when we talk of West, European countries, when we talk of East, the countries that are lying east of the Mediterranean Sea. So there were crusades between the two communities to capture holy lands. And when soldiers returned their home after the crusades, the church felt that still the kings were stronger than the church authorities. So in this way we see that there were two factors that contributed, that were responsible for the rise of nationalism in Europe. Today we will discuss page number 3 and 4, the main concepts of page number 3 and 4. As you see in the page 3, there is a picture, and you can easily see in the picture that there are a large number of men and women, youths, children, and they are marching in a queue. They are also holding the flags of their nations, and they are marching towards the Statue of Liberty. We will discuss later what refers to a Statue of Liberty. Once again, it was published by Frédéric Soury. Frédéric Soury was a French artist, and he published this picture in 1848. We also see there are some remains that are scattered on the earth. In this figure, we also see that there are some remains, those are scattered on the earth. These remains symbolize the remains of autocratic government, that was monarchy. We further see in this picture that from the heavens, saints, Christs, angels are gazing at the people. In this way, by this figure, Frédéric Soury tried to give some concrete ideas. He had visioned an utopia. I have already given you the term utopia. It was a vision of Soury that there will be one world, the people of different nations will be grouped, they will be recognized by their national flags and their costumes, vishesh poshak, costumes. So it was such a vision that in reality it could not be implemented, although he visioned this society, he dreamed this society. So by this picture and figure, Frédéric Soury tried to give some concepts. What was those? These concepts he gave: the idea of liberty, idea of fraternity. A large number of men and women are moving towards in a queue. It means it shows fraternity. All the persons are in a queue. It shows unity among them. They are holding their national flags. It clearly shows that they belong to distinct nations. In this way, this chapter will deal how slowly the sense of nationalism in Europe rise. One thing more, the page 4 deals with some allegories. As you already learnt about nation states. Nation states are those states which has clearly defined territory. It has a sovereign government, and most of the persons, most of the people of that very state have allegiance towards their country, towards their state. One thing more, most of the people and including the ruler of that very state have allegiance to their country. They share same culture, language, and history. So nation states. In this way, we learn today that the figure that was published by Frederick Suri, and what was the purpose behind this making picture, what was the message he wanted to give through this picture. Today once again we will learn three allegories: a Statue of Liberty, Mariani, and Germania. What is allegory? You would like to know. Allegory, when ideas like abstract ideas, abstract means that cannot be seen with the naked eyes. When abstract ideas are expressed in the form of some persons, some tangible things, this is called allegory. So, Germania, Marianne, these were the allegories. Like this, a Statue of Liberty. A Statue of Liberty symbolizes universal democracy and liberty, freedom. As you can see in the picture, the female picture, the picture of a Statue of Liberty, that the woman is bearing a torch of enlightenment in one hand and the Charter of Rights of Man in another hand. It is the symbol of United States of America. This allegory, the Statue of Liberty, symbolizes universal freedom and democracy. It was dedicated, this very statue was dedicated to the nation in 1886 in America. The second allegory you would like to know, Marianne. It was a very popular female name in Europe, and so it symbolizes the French nation, like in your India, our motherland, Bharat Mata. That very the picture of Bharat Mata symbolizes our nation. Like this, in France, Marianne symbolizes French nation. As we can see that she is wearing red cap, tricolor, and cockade. And another that is very important allegory we are to study in this lesson, Germania. Germania symbolizes German nation. It is a very popular painting that was created in 1848, and that very figure is wearing a crown of oak leaf. Crown, she is wearing a crown made of oak leaves. Crown of oak leaves symbolizes strength and heroism of German state. She is also wearing a branch of olive branch. Olive, a kind of plant. Olive, a kind of plant. She is wearing a branch of olive. This symbol symbolizes, represents peace in Germany. In this way, we learned three things. The picture that was drawn by Frederick Suri. By this picture, he wanted to give some important message about abstract ideas, and we also learned three important allegories that are very important for us to know to discuss this chapter. Tomorrow and in the next session, I would like to request you, appeal you that you must study history, page number 5 and 6, and all the important themes of those pages I will discuss in the next video. Thank you.